Okay. So good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, audible. Completely audible, sir.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. On the fifth day of our FDP, it is my great privilege to introduce our distinguished speaker, Dr. Rohit Thanki, sir. He is an accomplished AI researcher and medtech innovator based in Wolfsburg, Germany. Sir has 15 years of R&D experience, including more than 8 years in the medtech domain. Dr. Rohit sir has dedicated his career to developing AI-powered healthcare solutions that are clinically impactful, regulatory ready, and scientifically validated. His expertise spans medical image analysis, deep learning, generative AI, and large language models, with pioneering work at the intersection of AI, medicine, and product development. Dr. Rohit sir has made remarkable contributions in cancer diagnostics and screening, developing AI models for lung, oral, colorectal, breast, thyroid, cervical, brain, and bone cancer detection. He has also advanced applications in diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, COVID-19, fracture detection, and digital health solutions, including synthetic data generation for orthopedic risk prediction and rehabilitation modeling. A prolific researcher, Dr. Rohit sir, has authored over 100 peer-reviewed publications, more than 20 academic books with leading publishers like Springer, CRC Press, and elsewhere. His work has been cited extensively with an Edge index of 23. He also served as a reviewer and editorial board member for leading international journals. Beyond his research, he is currently exploring the potential of agentic AI and intelligent agents to design next generation AI assistant for healthcare and research. Today, Dr. Rohit sir will share his insights on AI-powered medical image analysis in Healthcare 5.0, highlighting how AI can revolutionize diagnosis, clinical decision making, and the future of patient care. So please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Rohit Thanki, sir. Sir, over to you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yeah. So I can set my screen. So, yeah. Can you see my screen?
Uh, yes, sir. Now visible.
Yeah. So, thank you for the introductions. And so, I give my lectures on this, I can say, the AI powered medical image analysis in the healthcare 5.0. So means now I can say one more news like that means I am the startups will be in India in the end of this month in the like name of the diagnostic, which is means all this work which I right now representing or my expert in this field I start to means give the demonstration in this lecture to means give various tools which can be used in the upcoming healthcare system, or I can say the healthcare in files. Or means right now we are in the means of the, like there are in few areas in the world where the healthcare 4.0 is running, and the some part of the world where they are advancing the things in the 5.0 means level. So there means mixing of these two industrial level in the healthcare industry, because the adoption of this kind of technology are deeper in the various part of the world. So yeah, means so my mostly focus on the like image analysis, or I can say the medical image analysis in using AI in the healthcare domain, how this medical image analysis can be useful, which can means help the doctors to save their time and means give that time to the patient to interact with them to means get the more insight from the disease. So in this 2 days lecture agenda means I covered the like overview of the healthcare 4.0 and the 5.0, then give the fundamental of AI and its integrations in the healthcare. Then the means I give the application of the AI powered image analysis in the healthcare. Then I also give some demo videos of some products which I already developed in this area, and give the means what is the benefits and challenging of this AI-driven medical imaging technology, and then future perspectives and innovations. So these are the agenda points for the today's talk. So I just start with overview of the healthcare 4.0 and the 5.0. So like, what is the 4.0 healthcare? Like the health is nothing but new evolution in healthcare industry, where we are combining the digital technology with the patient-centric care. Like that, you heard many companies are in the world, they are trying to develop the digital technology, which is means mostly focus on the patient-centric, because or the end users are the doctors, but the doctors are use this technology on the patient. So like this technology will be the center of this all the technology. The patient is the main user, so I think the main object where you are tested this technology. So what is in this technology? Like there, we are trying to connect the various healthcare systems. To means make this seamless communication between the various healthcare providers, device, and patient to coordinate the care, like we see right now in the world, or in the particular India, where you are going to the different doctors, you have to do the some kind of reports again. So like this kind of miscommunication is happening in the healthcare system. So using this connectivity of the different health ecosystems, so which is the means part of this healthcare 4.0, like in Europe, they just started over here this kind of projects to means interconnect the various hospitals in the Germany and as well as the other part of the European countries. So this is the just started over here. So like the 4.0 means just started in Europe, but in other part like UAE, where they are already connected, this kind of means healthcare systems between two hospitals, they are already connected. So using one card, you can get share your data. Then the real-time data utilization, like you heard about the medicine or the diagnostic things, which is the like where the doctor can analyze the data means instantly when something is happened. So variable means send the data to the hospitals or the doctor's device, so doctor can react on the spot. So this kind of means things are covered in that, and then means the patient engagement, which is one of the important things. You means communicate or the educate the means patient about this, all the kind of tools, how to use that, how you can engage with the hospitals and your health doctors to means use this technology. So these all the points are trying to cover in the healthcare 4.0. Then what is a 5.0? Like it means it is a transforming vision combining advanced technology with a patient care. So right now, proactive and preventing care, like we are say about like using AI, we can detect the means after 5 years what will be happen to this patient or this person. So that kind of means proactive or prevention of the care before it is happening. So this kind of early intervention or the prevention to improve the patient health outcome. So this kind of R&D work already going on in this area. Then the personalized patient care, like we are talking about right now, the personal medicine or the personalized medicine, like so analyze the means patient to patient data and means prescribe the medicine which is suitable for that patient. So this kind of means products or this kind of technology are right now researchers and means companies are developing, which are enabled with the means AI power. So AI will analyze particular patient data, and then based on that data analysis is give the some kind of means medicines or the prescription regarding to the health condition of that patient. And the third is integrated collaborations, like there means I already told that means there are no seamless collaboration with the means different hospitals, which we try to connect right now. But there are also there's no connection between the different countries and different continents. Like so, there are no means clear things or communication between the doctors and the different healthcare systems. Also, the healthcare system from one country to other country. It's one of the example is a COVID, where there's no communications or between the countries, where all countries have their own policies, and then after a few months or after the various discussions, they have come with some kind of policies. So there are this kind of means collaborations is required to develop means this kind of technology. Hello, someone is raised and any question?
No, sir. Right now we have muted the mics of all participants, so we will open the mic during the question answer session.
Okay, no problem. So means that's why I can means give my lectures fast, because I can give the lots of input in this field, so they can
Yes,
means,
sir.
yeah, because there are lots of means technical things, and it already means I not cover any theoretical part or anything in my lecture. So now
Yes.
means yeah. So next is integration of the digital technology in healthcare. So right now we are working on the integration of AI and IoT in healthcare systems. Like this is the two major technology which is used in the medical field. Like AI is used in the various data analysis of the medical field. Like I can say one example right now I'm presenting like image analysis. Then there are also clinical data, which is and various kind of other data, which means I can say the RNA data or the DNA change data, and IoT, which is the means connection of the Internet of the things. So like we have the various sensors which is used as a variable body, and it collects some data. Which data you have to transfer to the hospitals or the transfer to the doctor, which can be possible using the Internet of the Thing technology. So this is the one means things are right now doing that. Many companies are trying to integrate this kind of technology in the real healthcare systems. Then second is the big data analysis. Like you heard about the data side. Right now, AI is struggling to make the generalized thing, because there are no means data which represent all kind of means demographics. So there means all the data sets which is available is limited. So the many companies are trying to develop the data pool which have the large amount of data over there, and which can be analyzed using AI in the medical field. And then cloud computing means we are using the cloud facility now to transfer the data from the home to the hospitals. And so this is the this kind of technology are trying to integrate in the healthcare systems right now, and this I can say research and development is going on in this area. So now I give the fundamental of AI is integration in the healthcare systems. So the basic concept of AI and machine learning. So these are the two major machine learning techniques. Like you identify the patterns autonomously with the means some programming algorithms, and give some meaningful output. And means it try like in image processing is trying to learn from the patterns of the image, and give the some classification or the type of disease in the medical field. So this is the basic of AI. Now I give the means what kind of images are can be analyzed by the AI. So like first is the first type is the radiologist images. They are X-ray, CT scan, MRI, ultrasound, PET scan, X-ray scan, the hybrid images. So these are the images which is we heard this word means our routine life regularly. So these are the images can be analyzed according to the disease. Doctor can prescribe the imaging things, and then they are analyzed these kind of images. Then second is the pathology and the microscopic images. These images are used in the particularly in the cancer malignance means proofing, like they have the suspect of the cancers or the some kind of cells abnormality in the body. Then they take the biopsy of that area and then do the digital slicings and then analyze to identify which kind of cells are presented in the image, and based on that they are means use the treatment further. Then third is the orthogonal images, which is the means purely focus on the eyes related means disease. So like the fundus photography, then the optical coherence tomography, and then fluorescent angiography. So these are the images can be analyzed using AI, and there are many tools are right now are developing for this kind of image analysis. Then the determinologist images, which is the like brevoscopic image and the clinical photographs. So which is used mostly in the skin related disease identification. I give the means one example of this, like how to you can use the clinical photographs to detect the various kind of skin cancers means level. Then this is the then the cardiology images, which is the like ECG images, cardiac MRI and CT scan. So they are then this and then the various onco images like mammogram, PET scan for the tumors, and then radiotherapy planning images. So these are the various images can be analyzed using AI, and this is the type of dentist images which is used for the means identify the oral related disease. So you can see this is the various kind of images like panoramic dental X-ray, which is used to means identify various condition of the teeth, means teeth related means things are also like the oral cavity images are used right now to identify the means oral cancers related screening. So these are the images are used in the oral disease means detection or the screening. Then these are the other specialized image like endoscopic images, which is used nowadays to identify the means colorectal cancers in the human body, and the surgical videos, like there are many videos are taken to analyze by AI to find what kind of means thing can improve after means surgery. So doctors are means recorded videos during surgery, and then they analyze what can be improved to or what kind of procedure can be redesigned. So this kind of means analysis can be done using AI. Then I give the core techniques in the AI-based medical image analysis. So these are the two means major I can say machine learning and deep learning algorithm used in the image analysis, like the traditional machine learning algorithm, which can extract the various features from the image and also from the medical data to make some kind of risk prediction. And the deep learning with the CNN is mostly used for the detection of the various kind of disease classes using based on the data set which you feed as input. These are the two major means algorithms of AI are used for the medical image analysis. So now I not this is the standard steps of the image pre-processing, image segmentations, and the feature extraction. These are the basic things. So I not covered these, but they are very important in the medical field. Like you require the accurate annotated data to means train your AI system. Otherwise, your AI is having the bias. It cannot be used as an actual product in the medical field. You can only demonstrate as a research point of view, but once you are trying to develop some kind of AI product, you have to require this annotation of that data set will be important, and it will be, or it can be done by the doctors, not by any technical person or any unexperienced people. So this is one of the important point in the means when you design any AI-based systems using medical images. Then these are the some examples of machine learning models which is used in the medical image analysis, like PCA support vector machines, then the K nearest neighbors, and the random forest and decision tree. So these all are these basic algorithm which is used on the classification of the various images data set which have the extracted feature from the image, and then there are large pool of the deep learning models which is used nowadays in the medical image analysis. Like you can see the CNN model, which is used for the classification, detection, segmentations, and the feature extraction based on the data set which you feed in that. Then the image segmentation model, where the unit is used for the detection of the tumor in the image or in the medical image. Then the marks are CNN. Then nowadays, like these feature extraction models are used in the LLM-based concept like vision transformation. Then the object detection. So these are the means models which is used to develop and use in the medical image analysis. Then now I do the means application of this AI powered image analysis in the healthcare. So first means AI can use to early detections of the disease and diagnostics of that. So using AI can means for the disease sign early than the traditional method, which allow the faster diagnosis than the timely intervention. Once you gave the means diagnostic in the means faster manner, AI this means then you can do the intervention very fast. So these are both are interconnected. The things, so like AI can be used for this both the things. Then means automation of the image in interpretation workflows. Like it can be AI can reduce the clinic workflow, like they are automate the means image analysis and which reduce the workload for the clinicians. Then the disease monitoring, like AI can monitor the disease prognosis and the therapy response to the image assessment techniques. So like in the example like that, means doctor take the patient image today and see what is the means in that image. After 1 week, they take the image again and then means see what is the difference happening. So this kind of monitoring can be done, and it means AI can use to dynamize the treatment according to the means what is the response of the patient on the particular therapy. So like images can be used for that kind of means define the strategy for the means further treatment planning. Then AI in radiology, like what is used in the radiology, like it is used to early abnormality detection. It also improve diagnostic accuracy, like AI is already many research prove that AI is means spotted the tumor in the means breast cancer, which is means a higher rate compared to the human means accuracy, and also using the means reduce the work load, so which helping to means fix the workflow in the clinic. So like it can be improve the productivity of the doctors. Doctor can treat more patients in the hospitals, where AI can help them to means make the diagnostics and helping them to make this analysis in the faster manner. Now, then the AI can be used in the pathology and histology analysis, like AI precision in diagnostics. Then these are the means. So AI is used in the accuracy of the pathology side, like as per my knowledge, like many the existing pathology slides in the market, which have the size of 80K across 80K, like this amount of images are available in the market to analyze. So this kind of means analysis of this kind of images it takes a lots of time, and there are lots of means human error is appearing in that. So and it's also like a time taking process, like 3 to means many cases 1 month to 3 months taken only for the few image means pathologist slice analysis. So this kind of means analysis of the images, AI is useful over there. And this is the same thing like using that analysis, you can personalize that treatment and that all the more detailed information on that. Then the AI can be used in the various other area like ophthalmology, like eye related means disease can be detected using AI with the help of the means eye images. Then the AI can be used in the cardiologists where the various heart related images can be used to means use and then analyze to give the better intervention and the planning for the means heart related disease, and is also used in the patient's specialty scales like various means area of the health. Now I give the one means use case how AI can use if AI-based image classification can be used to the misdetects of the cervical cancer. So, like, this is the use case which means analyze the various PET cells of, which is used in the cervical cancer to identify which kind of cells are available, means present in that area of the cervix. So, means where means doctors are tagged means see one means the tumors cells, they means create a digital slides and then analyze. So this kind of means cells is presented over there. So each all cells has a different means characteristic in that, like super physical intermediate, like the normal cell. So these all are the cells are available in the means when the women get the cervix cancer. So these where the all the cells has a different means characteristic. Like you can see the diagnostics is like abnormal cells. So these cells you can means identify. So I use the means data set which is the means already generated by the researchers over in the European country. So and we are developing a simple deep learning model which is not means by very is only 3 convolution layer network and only 2 neural layers. So it's like very simple model, and we are achieve the accuracy around 85 to around that right now. So we are working on that to improve this accuracy and the, because this is an actual data set, so you have to get more and more iteration to achieve the means higher accuracy as per the industrial standard. We are already in that range like 75-90% set, so they are not means further about us to means improve that on that right now. Hence you see the like ROC of this like it gives away more than 90%. So like our model is working very good, which can be used as a we can use as a product in the future. So we just means we, so you can see over here user or the analysis of the different kind of cells can be done over here. So this means one use case I give that means how you can do the image analysis using AI. So like you can see the 5 different, and I also give means how you can use this kind of models in the product. I also demonstrate that things in the next few slides. And now I give you some digital health application based on the image analysis. So this is one use case, or I can say one product which is used in the AI-powered breast cancer screening software. So this is the most simple. I give the idea how you can use the AI based image analysis. Like you can see over here, like the first stage, like trial screening, like which is the where you feed your input images. Like the image can be mammogram, image can be this ultrasound. So you can enter that image. Then the screening is a deep learning model, which is the simple CNN based model. Using that model, you means, screen that image, like image has some kind of cancer syndromes. It means image has something like tumor or not. If there is no tumor is present in the means in image, then there are no further treatment is required. So if the tumor is presented in the system, in the image, then there means you can have to find location of the tumor. So then we have used the second means deep learning model. So which is a means image segmented model, or I can say the model which can identify the ROI or the tumor in the image. So you using that AI model, you can detect that cancer tumor. Once you detect the cancer tumor in image, then you require to identify what kind of tumor it is, because the tumor have the means primary is the two types. One is the benign and second is the malignant. So you also require the features of the tumor. So you can identify the tumors features using various computer vision technology. I can say the image processing technology, and collect the features, and then you have to train. Means have the one AI model, which is means ML based model, which means means analyze these features and give them what kind of tumors is available over there. So it's like based on your data and based on your knowledge, you can design this trend ML based classifier, which can give the types of tumor and also the stage of the tumor, like what kind of stage is available. And based on that, doctors are making the further treatment. So you also there means models nowadays. They are used. Many companies try to use LLM based concept to means collect this all the output of this all the models and feed into this kind of means further treatment agent, or I can say further treatment AI system, which gives a complete diagnostic report. So this is the simple means flow in the AI-based screening software. So I can use that means what is the actual. You can see the this is original image of the breast cancer, which is the four images, both LCC, LO, and RCC, and you can see when you feed this use case in the image. These all are the cancers image, so you can see the ROI extraction over here. Like that means this AI is giving the means where is the actual ROI over here. So you can see this is the ROI over here in this all the images, and then you see the image with the tumor identification. So this is the tumor, which is the once you feed in the in that AI models, it gives the presence of the tumor, and then you get these features which is gated using the computer vision algorithm, and then I feed these algorithms all the features like shape, margin, lobules, angularity into the ML model, which is the tumor type. So this is a complete means flow of the means AI-based breast cancer screening software. Then this is the second thing where you can feed the means ultrasound image. Is a breast ultrasound image. You can see only the black region, which is the means tumor position actually. So means using AI detection algorithm, we detect the ROI and the means tumor over here, and also that means what are the features of the tumor you can see over here, and also the case regions already over here, like is the benign type. So this is the means output like this you get after image analysis of the ultrasound. Then the third case means this is the AI powered cervical cancer screening software. This is the software which has means three different modalities, or I can say three AI models are used over here. Where one is used for the polyscopic means images, which is used to detect the HPV present in the cervical cancer or not. Then the second is like I already use the use case of the PET cells image, which is used to means which kind of cells is available in the image cervix area. And third, I put over here is the histopathology image in a AI model. which give the stage of the means cancer cells over the presented, like what kind of stage of the cancer cells. So you can see like this is a complete means a patient software of the means that you can use like this the patient information you can feed over here. So you can see like this which actually use as a hospitals like AI power or AI power diagnostic tool. So right now, not the medical device, like under uh, clinical trial, we are making that procedures right now to get the approval to start the clinical trial of that, because this is the requirement of any medical technology when you build for the healthcare systems. So you can see like the patient information can be fed by the doctors, and then they can directly go to diagnostic. Like there are three types of image analysis you can see over here, like so. So you can see over here like three image analysis. So doctor can choose any of one out of that, means according to the patient condition. And these three are the image AI-driven AI models are put over there, which is so once you select that means the relevant information for that screening you have to put over there, and then you have to means give the input image over here. So like this is the means relevant medical information regarding that which is required for the screening. And then you have to means upload the image of that relevant patient. So you can see like, and then AI can make the prediction of that, and a doctor make the screening report. Like this kind of report are generated using the means based on this information, and then means this is a complete means software like that means other finding you can do, like this is the complete one software which is means used for the AI screening and the diagnostics. So this is one applications which is there. Now there are fourth application like AI power screening screen cancer mobile application. So like this is the application which is running your Android phone, like where you can use AI based screen lesion classifications based means which give the various means skin conditions or the lesion condition which is that's present in the skin of any patient. So this is simple app which is work as a complete this is called as a digital mobile application, or I can say digital health applications. You can see like this is the uh, when you can feed the data like this kind of means you can, as a doctor you can create the means your complete fill your complete information, then you get the means this kind of dashboard where you can fill the basic information of the patient, and so like so you can see there are different means that is a cancer type, then so this kind of means analysis you can uh, do with that, like you can see this kind of complete means history of that patients, like this kind of this means a basic screening app which can be used in the remote places in the any part of the world. Like this is the app can be run on any device without internet. So this is the one other application where AI-based image processing can be used. Then this is the means new concept which I already tell that like large scale of histopathology image required lots of time. So for that we are using the like image analysis with the AI, and plus we are use the sliding window method to develop the system which, or this is just prototype, which can analyze the like images with the 5K across 5K size to the more than that. So like you can see over here, this image cannot be like this image. You can see that there is a histopathology image which has a size of the, I can say the 5,000 cross 5,000. It means 250K pixels over that, and means image is sliced using the Windows method, and then AI is do the analysis on that, and is give the different 8 kinds of cancer cells presented in this big histopathology image. So it give that representation of that image. You can see so like you can see that this is the various cells present over here, and you also get the actual size of the image, which is already saved in the system. So like this kind of this complete big image you can get, which gives all the cells present according different color coding. So this is the current work is going on in the market, where the various companies are developing this kind of AI tools which use in the astropathology image analysis. And then like now is like new thing which we are all are talking about, the AI agent, or which is used like this word is coming in market. All are saying AI agent in the various field. But in healthcare, this just started, or this just study, or I can say the R&D is just started in this field, because this is a very regulated field. So I give the one demo of this, like how the AI agent can be worked. So like you can see the multimodal lung cancer assessment. So over here, like you can see the left side, there are 3 different things you can see, like upload clinical data, upload CT scan image, and upload histopathology image. So what we did in this, like we have this different data of the patient, which is the clinic data, CT scan data, and histopathology data. So we create our own models using machine learning and deep learning for these 3 data sets, and generate the results for that analysis of that image, and the data we generate the results of analysis, and then that we feed that data into the generative AI models, and which give the complete holistic reports of the diagnostics. So you can see like how this kind of system is working. So I just give the patient name over there, then the patient ID. You can I can see over, and then you can upload the data. Like this is the clinic data, then this is CT scan, and then the histopathology image. So once you click this generate holistic report, so it's like performing first three AI models are run to and analyze this all 3 different kind of data, which generate one results for all 3, and then they feed into the AI in the generative AI models, which give the holistic report of that. So this is the, you can see that this data which is the clinical risk and the finding over there, and this you see that the complete report, like which is generated by the generative AI things. Like you can see this is the report, like this finding stage 1, stage 2, and then stage 3, and this complete report is generated using after feeding that finding into the generative AI systems, and it gives this kind of the holistic diagnostic report. So this is the agent which is right now currently doing. Now, the challenge is limitation and ethical consideration, which is very important in the healthcare system when the image analysis are used. The first is the data quality, which is very important in element of any healthcare product or any health related medical image data set. So you have to collect the data which can be means how annotated by the clinician, which means collected in the in the clinics. It's not like there are many public data is available, but they may be not collected in the means regulatory pathway or the means defined procedure. That's why it means you require to standardize that data. Once we talk about the AI image processing or the AI-based image analysis in the healthcare, then third is the interoperability in the systems. Like in the medical science or the medical field, the image is a particular means standard, like the DICOM standard are using. So like your image analysis will not give the output as per that system requirement. Then your tools or this kind of system cannot be found. So this kind of these three things is required to means develop any kind of AI-based R&D or I guess the research-based product or the research-based algorithm, which can be laterally converted into the product or converted or given into any product. So these are the very important things. Then second is the like bias, explainability, and regulatory. So like your algorithm should not be biased. So it gives the means prediction in the means not in critical fair, but it will have the equivalence clinical output. Not means your algorithm give only one class every time. So it like is biased for one class. This kind of means things you have to means check is a very challenging task in the healthcare where AI-based image processing are concerned. Then the navigating the regulatory framework, like this is one of the toughest work right now in the world because they all are developing many products in the healthcare using AI-based image processing, but you require to compliance with all the things with the regulatory of all the countries. Like when I talk about the India, government of India and also have the means regulatory in this field like AI-based software development or I can say AI-powered software development healthcare. They have the means one particular regulations for that, and you have to explain your models using some explainable AI techniques. So like your models output, like why my models give the 90% accuracy. Your models you use some kind of explainable AI methods to give that justification. So these kind of means things you have to consider when you develop the AI-based image processing algorithm. As a research point of view, also as a, you convert into a letter as a in the like product or something like that. Then third is the patient privacy concern and the trust in the AI system. So like the protecting the patient data. So like I cannot share any data or any patient data without consent when I collected that data from the clinics. So once I have to make the means clinic evidence-based research, then I have to means take this all the things and give the means protects consent or give the means justification. I cannot use that data outside the hospitals. Then you have to inform the users why you collect the data. Like that already consent forms when you collect the AI-based images, like you collect the images from the hospitals or you use that images for your study or your research, and then there means still the people are not trust in AI system because there are no clear means I can say the information or education regarding AI, how AI is used to them. Like they are still as a hesitancy to use or there are no openness in the market in the market as well as the research community to use AI system in the healthcare. They are also continuously educations is happening in this field, and the future direction like towards automation, personalized healthcare. So like right now, these are the new things is coming like federated learning and real-time analytics. Like the federal learning is like multiple institute data. You are train your model without sharing the raw data. Like it is means one kind of learning method where means multiple hospitals data are collected without means having the patient information. This is just images. This is means develop the foundation model which have the information on the various sources. So it give the more genuine output or more acceptable output because they have the variety in terms of the demographics and other means parameters in that. And which also gives the real-time means clinical analysis. Like it means once I upload the image, it means learn the it means analyze the real time and give the means decision in the means real time. So these are the things are currently research are going on in this, and this like new is like integration of the multimodal data for the holistic patient assessment. So like there are various kind of image data integrations along with like I already give the one example like you can see CT scan, histopathology image, clinical data. So this kind of data means are already collected, integrated in the one system and do the holistic patient assessment. Then the genomes data means nowadays people are means developing the technology which also collect the genomes informations and use that means create the AI models for that. It is also means use and then this other like clinical and lifestyle data, which means you are varying many variables nowadays, which also collect the data, which laterally used in the create this holistic patient assessment and like how the means you can means develop this kind of AI power, AI image-based system. Like you have to continuously validate your AI models. So like once you develop your AI models, it cannot be like that means my today developed model can be means fixed for the next 5 years. So I have to continuously update my AI models and then regulatory and you have to require the doctors or means clinics to means do the any AI research based on the image in the which is in the healthcare domain. So you have to make the means integration with them or the make collaboration with them. So this is the means role and conclusion. So yeah, so AI in medical imaging, AI power means you enhance the accuracy and speed. Diagnostic in modern health system is innovations and like means nowadays there are many new treatment methods and improve the patient care to this personalized medicine or the personalized health solutions and future like addressing challenges. Like there are very many challenges right now in the health systems, which is, people are trying to addressing that. And thank you. If you, yeah, now I open to questions and if you require any suggestion.
So thank you very much, sir. The question answer sessions are open now. If any participants have any questions, they can ask.
Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
So this algorithm detects cancer or any disease after the disease gets developed. But I have read somewhere that some algorithms can predict that after these many years or after getting adult, this type of disease or cancer will get developed in some body.
Yes, it can be possible. It is possible, but means they all the cases they have the data of that patient. Then they make the next things. Suppose I don't have the
They need
patient
history,
data.
medical history, genetic history or somewhere else.
No, all the data means those are claim that thing. You have to see their data set. Like they are collecting the data of the patient from the like their positive case. They not means giving any negative case. It's all are positive case, which is already diagnosed cancer after means so they did like 35 age they get one image. After 40 years they get one image where they see the clear cancer thing. But there are no any like right now I have the something I take my image of my screen, but I don't know after 5 years how my screen will be.
Actually, I was asking about the prediction means before few years, before few years you can predict that cancer will get developed in this area or this region of the body.
So that means in that time also there are some syndromes already over there. When they and because they are one parameter to make. That's why they are going for this holistic approach. So they sometimes it's all the things together and find out before 5 years. It means right now can be stopped. So that isn't there something already on there, but means due to one data, they cannot make the mix, make a, I can say 100% decision regarding cancer. That's why they are collecting genomes data, they collect the laboratory data, they collect the demo, clinical data, demographic data, they combine all this data and make it. That's why they use the AI and means collect, put this all the data on that.
Hello, sir. Good evening. Sir, what are the common pitfalls of AI models in healthcare and how can they be addressed?
Yes, 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 sir.
Sir, what are the common pitfalls AI models in healthcare?
So like in healthcare right now, the first the data, because all the data which is available in patient public data, they have means few data sets taken in actual clinical settings. So that is the first the data credibility. Which is means once your data is not credible, then your AI tool are not credible in health. The first is the main issue with healthcare system right now. All companies are making use the same kind of data set which permitted by some regional recently in the world, and then the things like when I will give one example like histopathology image slides. They are moved from database to the Telenor database, which is used by the Google, used by OpenAI. All are using that data set, which is means connected into some clinical settings in the US and in Europe, and they are developing that AI models using that data set. And now they are means expand the data set into some hospitals in the Netherlands, like the one hospital in the Netherlands is Crown in the Kingston. So like Google has made partnership with them. So the data is one of the main points in the healthcare system. Without data, you cannot do so.
Sir, and how can overfitting be reduced when we are training different detection models on small data sets?
So you have to increase your data using some manipulation data, in your hypertherapy. It's a trial and error method because there is difficulty sometimes because you have all the data which is available, you have controlled data. So you sometimes get the means unbalanced data, which is not the means perfect out. You have to means develop a data set using some kind of synthetic data generation. As a research point of view, for example, inorganization product of your or you have to use implementation method to balance that data sets.
Sir, when considering the validation, the training, the validation and testing for three there, right? So, why is external validation important for AI models in healthcare?
Because you use the same data set. When divide only data set, the data set is the same. Only one image data set. Each data set is divided into training, validation, and testing. It's in one similar kind of data. But once external validation means I don't see something and I see that you put that thing in front of my eyes. I give a simple example like means my eye does not see any one kind of which I see mobile every day. But I put something which is similar like one mobile kind of things and I recognize it's not mobile, it's something else. Or it seems mobile, but it is also simple as a different perspective. Then this kind of validation is required in AI model. But the AI only see one kind of thing. But this pattern is not only unique in the world, but skin cancer. I think a simple example, skin. Like Indian people have a different skin, European people have a different skin. So my AI models, they want the Indian people to perceive. They don't want in Europe. These people have a different means of patterns. You have to validate them in the AI model is developing Indian data set, not even European data set, European people, then we will validate. And they are both owned in public down and struggling right now. And they are designed only for the one country and one demographic data.
Okay, sir. Sir, as you told, we have to train the models with the data sets of the countries may differ, right, sir? So I was wondering, sir, pre-processing play a major role, isn't it, sir? So how what's the role of pre-processing in disease detection algorithms? Like
So it is depend on the means how the data you are collecting. How data set is. But because many data set is available in public, you are pre-processed, they are already checked for the. So they are raw data sets. When you collect the raw data set, you have to do that.
this last question, sir. Why CNN? Sorry, CNN. Preferred for disease detection in X-ray, CT, and MRI scans. Why not RNN, sir?
Because RNA is used for the video analysis, like that. You can use the RNA for the image analysis, but CNN is purely high accuracy over so that's why the convolution neural network, like we use the convolution fundamental of sleep processing over we use very precise or image static in nature. And when you see MRI, there is a thing. MRI, you require to use the RNA. The MRI is the dynamic characteristic.
What is the role of zero padding in CNN based disease detection?
So it is the most about processing perspective. Like zero failure, that only you have to let the data. The data can be fed into the models. And you get the picture it can be done easily.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for this.
Any other questions?
Sir, training clustering and support vector machine sir, is it possible to explain at least any one of them, sir? If possible.
Like you want to clear like that, then I can submit it.
Just in brief, sir. Just possibly one.
So, even means the clustering use means grouping the data. You want to make different kind of group. Say, you don't know what kind of classes is available in that data set. Using means clustering, you can identify what kind of means class is available in that data set. And the support vector is the means classify. You can use classify like example, like I can get a class in my data set, but I don't know who is. So using means clustering, I can identify who is kind of grouping you can run. Now, you give the new data, and you find this new data is a which kind of class. Then you have to use the HPM, which is the new data is a class B.
Sir, we have a network GAN, the GIS GAN, in that the discriminator and the generator will be there, right, sir? So, what actually is it? Like, for that, we usually take the example of the criminal and the police example, right, sir? What actually the discriminator and generators?
Since you are asking me about the genetic addressing network, which generates new data.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it means, madam, I don't know right now. Yet. I give the only example is like how it is working. Like this means data. It take the data with the mix of information from the data, decoding the data, and they like get the information, discriminating information from the data, and then they features are feed to the one new LLM model, which generates the new data, which is a sense simple understanding because that generative AI models, like the network models, very that so very difficult to
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your answers, sir. Thank you very much.
any other question?
I think there is no questions. So now, on behalf of all participants, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Rohit. Thank you, sir, for his insightful and thought-provoking sessions on AI-powered medical image analysis in healthcare 5.0. Your expertise in medical imaging, deep learning, and AI-driven healthcare solutions has not only increased our understanding but also inspired us to think about the future possibilities in diagnostics and patient care. We deeply value the clarity with which you explain complex concepts, the real-world applications you highlighted, and the vision you shared for next generation healthcare technology. So thank you, Dr. Rohit sir, for engaging with us so meaningfully and for sharing your invaluable knowledge and experience. Thank you so much. Sir.
Thank you, Rohit, sir. Thank you for your answers. Thank you very much.
All the participants are requested to stay connected. The next session will start coming soon. Sir, you may view, sir.
Look, the session is okay.
Yes, it is okay. It is absolutely fine. Sir. If you want to view, you can stay connected. You can stay connected. Sir. Dr. Siva sir, are you audible? Okay, so I'm starting the session. Just a minute. So welcome everyone to our second session of the day. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce our esteemed expert for today's session, Dr. Siva Teja sir. Uh, Sir is Principal Research Scientist at Iramo Health Analytics with more than 12 years of professional experience. Dr. Teja sir has dedicated his career to advancing healthcare through the integration of artificial intelligence and medical technology. At Niramaya Health Analytics, he has been instrumental in driving innovations in AI-based thermal imaging solutions, particularly in the early detection of disease such as breast cancer. His work not only reflects scientific excellence but also presents a commitment to creating affordable, non-invasive, and accessible diagnostic solutions for society. Dr. Tejas' research contributions and expertise in combined AI with thermal analytics have positioned him as a thought leader in this evolving space. He has actively engaged in bridging the gap between research technology and clinical practice, ensuring that advanced solutions can be applied effectively in real-world healthcare settings. Today we will enlighten us beyond transforming healthcare with AI-driven thermal technology, where we will gain valuable insights into how cutting-edge AI is reshaping the future of healthcare, diagnostics, and patient care. So please join me in extending a very warm welcome to Dr. Siva Teja sir. Sir, over to you. So hope you can see this. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is uh, so thanks again for inviting for this wonderful session. So agenda of the talk is as follows. First, I will introduce medical imaging and artificial intelligence high level. Then I will talk you over a new imaging modality called thermal imaging, why it is needed and what are its clinical applications. And then deep dive into the use of data-based thermal imaging for early stage breast cancer detection. So what is medical imaging, right? So the doctor here this term and just also commonly referred as radiology, which involves the representations of internal body parts for providing any kind of clinical information or medical intervention. So in order to get an image or a series of images of a body part, what we try to do is we apply different imaging modalities. The most common imaging modality which every one of us or one of our family members must have gone through is X-ray. So what happens in X-ray is you pass X-rays which are a type of high energy radiation, and there is shrink in detector. If there are hard they absorb the X-rays, whereas the soft tissue like fat, skin, they pass the X-rays. So this imaging modality is very good if you want to study kind of this is basically the X-ray imaging I'm talking about. It's very good to want to study bone fractures, right? Studying how the bones are formed or any kind of fracture that has been. So the sophisticated version of it can be sophisticated version is use high dosage of radiation. Now, instead of using certain radiation, you can even measure the tissue differences. So that's what happens.
So what happens in computer image is it's the same X-ray, but we use the dosage, so which allows us to study the package and then package. And another variation is CT image where you get the cross section of the body part and you'll be able to study the vascularity, you can be able to study the tissue differences, whether it's a bone or whether it's a soft tissue, you'll be able to look. So it is very well widely used technology, but the main disadvantage with the X-ray imaging is that there is a high energy radiation. So the repeated exposure to X-rays can increase the risk of getting cancer. Like if you're talking about skin and mammography, you do 10 CT scans or 10 mammography scans, the chances of getting cancer almost doubles, right? With 20%, 30%, depending on the city or the mammogram. So that's one of the disadvantage. However, if you want to study the tissue differences, it's a very good. Ultrasound uses high frequency sound waves, where we set the high frequency sound waves and then we study the reflection and its intensity. So whenever you want to study any kind of structures, whether it is opaque in nature or whether it's filled with fluid, this is a very good imaging modality that we use. So if we're talking about whether with cancer, whenever the tumor that we detected is filled with fluid or solid structure, ultrasound is a good imaging modality to understand. We want to understand how the structure is, whether it's a regular pattern or a irregular pattern, ultrasound is very good. And similarly, for any kind of cardiology, abdominal imaging, and gynecology, ultrasound is one imaging modality which helps us to study which structures. MRI is compared to the other two imaging modalities, is more on the costlier side. It uses strong magnetic fields and derivates in order to generate detailed images of advanced tissues. What MRIs do is if you want to analyze the soft tissue. So MRI can give very little. So the advantage of MRI is there is no high energy radiation. You can take a number of times and it's costly. And the variations of MRI involves functional MRI where you inject some contrast enhancement dyes, which would help us in study the functional aspects. And the other imaging modality which commonly used, we almost heard PET-CT, nuclear medicine imaging, where we inject radioactive crystals and then the MRI to try to evaluate the functional aspect of the body. So this is very beneficial, not specifically for identifying the disease, but if you want to study the treatment process, like if you want to know whether the treatment is working or not, compare whether the treatment response to the drug. This is a very good modality. So we have these imaging modalities, but one of the main challenge with these imaging modalities are that it requires very high expertise in order to interpret these images. So even a small mistake leads to delayed detection of cancer. So it requires very high expertise and see the number of radiologists we are talking in a population is there is only one radiologist per 100,000 population. And since we're talking about images, like for a body part, we might be having a series of images. For MRI, we might be having 64 prints as well. Now, in order to analyze this millions of pixels, is taxing and it's more to errors. And further, it depends a lot on the expertise of the radiologist. There are studies that says that if an expert radiologist images, the accuracy could be as high as 90%. The same images were interpreted by a junior radiologist, the accuracy could be around 70%. So that's where AI has brings the advantage, where you can elevate the subject, can do the accuracy and that's it. The previous speaker has very neatly outlined different AI techniques, but just to give a short list of the different terms and tools. AI is a broad tool that involves computer algorithms which perform different tasks. It can be simple different as sophisticated AI models. Machine learning is a branch in artificial intelligence where we deal with computer algorithms which can learn on its own, don't take explicitly. It can be done in a number of ways, right? You can extract state parameters and then using the historic data, you can predict whether the particular characteristic or features that is taxon. And deep learning, which now we apply as the AI, is a branch of machine learning which is inspired by human brain. How, when we see some kind of when we see some kind of object, how our eyes are connected to the brain with millions of neurons, right? If we want to perform some kind of action, and our nervous system will trigger series of neurons. So in the same fashion, we try to connect the input and output with the millions of neurons which are magnetic terminations. So the use of AI now has been in different departments. If you see a decade ago, majority of the artificial intelligence in healthcare was for operational efficiency. If you want to speed up the citation or if you want to improve the claim process. So that's where AI has been used, and there was a lot of skepticism on can it be really a decade ago. But over the last decade, with the advancements in AI algorithms, we have seen significant shift and significant adoption in healthcare for different doctors, starting with disease diagnostics. Now we are having AI technologies that can automatically detect whether there is a lung cancer or not. Treatment monitoring is another area where, with the advance of AI, we are able to tell a particular drug is or not, or we can even predict which drugs can create what kind of survival. And it's also used for drug discovery. We all have heard about how the companies have played on using artificial intelligence in discovering COVID-19 drugs. This type of is one that we thought we should discuss, where you can describe the health records and from this health records you can predict any kind of risk factors that might lead to certain diseases. With the advancements in robotics as well as AI, robotic surgery is also where we can do science surgeries. Telemedicine is another area which has been during COVID-19, where we can help the doctors with diseases, write the prescriptions, and then check the notes, and then having create follow-ups, outbreak prediction, and finally personalized care. Now, majority of the treatments are like one size fits all normal. But now the world is slowly moving away from it, and we want to develop the personalized regime for the patient. So in order to do this, it's not an easy task, right? We have to understand many parameters. We have to study the clinical history of the patient, the current diagnosis, previous diagnosis. So it's a lot of data. Again, we are very instrumental in developing personalized care for a particular patient to increase the detection and the treatment response. So just high level, specifically in medical imaging, what the problem statements that is. Right? The common problem statement is classification, where you have an image and you want to classify whether it is a tuberculosis or not, or some kind of pattern. Localization is another problem statement, where you just don't want whether this is a common or not. You want to know where exactly is the issue. So that's a localization problem. So in this image, you want to know where the tumor is. So that's a localization problem. And since we deal with some images, like, take for example, thermal image, or even MRI image, right? The patient can move. So uh, which leads to non-alignment in the brains. So because of this, what happens is when the doctor is looking at it, it's very hard for them to study how particular component or particular pixel is behaving over time. So that's where it's important medical imaging, the registration of programs. As you can see here, the left image is capturing a normal image of the patient, and then we on the right hand side you can see a brain structure where you can see that the brains are not moving, so the it allows the radiologist to study the variation. And again, since we are talking about multiple images captured for a patient, the next problem statement is about how we can construct a theory or a three-dimensional image from this scattered data that we are getting. We can even treat the denoising as one of the problems. Apart from this, there are other problems with the advancements in general. Now we are seeing like, can we generate images which could help the radiologists in training junior radiologists in improving their performance, right? Can we generate tough cases on critical cases or not or a certain cancer like invasive carcinoma, so that the radiologist can visualize these images. This is very important because many times when we're talking about certain diseases, the incidences are low, so doctors often don't have images. So when junior radiologists are the challenge that how you can train them to tell them this is how the different patterns of this disease. That's where the genuine has been instrumental in generating images for the doctors, it's also helpful in improving the algorithms. So this is a slide that covers AI-based technology. What all it is. The first foremost step is identifying the problem statement with difficulty. This statement might be obvious, but it is very crucial because not all problem statements that we see might not have legal relevance. So whenever you are trying to make a statement, right, problem statement, what you work on, first understand whether it is serving the patient or the patient, how it is improving their experience. So a simple example could be if you are trying to identify whether the person is having pneumonia with PET-CT, for example, and you're trying to develop a PET-based technology. Challenge is to understand that currently we already have a low cost, much safer options that are there with X-ray imaging. Then what's the benefit of this, right? So it's important to understand what are the risks and benefits of the proposed treatment. This is a very crucial step even as per the regulatory clearances. Because whatever you develop in medical imaging has to go through clinical trial and regulatory process. And the first step they implementing is understand what are the risks and benefits of the proposed treatment. If benefits outweigh the risks, then you can go ahead and you can start working with the problem. But if the risks are more, then the chances of getting regulatory approvals and getting into the healthcare domain is very So now once we know that the technology has more benefits than the first one, that the risk offers, then the next step is getting data. Right? The challenge which I think the previous speaker has clearly outlined is in medical information, we have very good data sets. And often data is small data sets, they are of low value. So when you have to develop models, not just stick to one image or one data source, try to pull in as much as data as available. You should spend significant amount of time in creating a data set because the results, the model that you develop completely depends on how you put the data. And once you get this data, the one of the important mistake many researchers do is they don't validate the authenticity of the data. So when we see these open source data sets that are available, we, uh, we see many of these open source data sets, they don't mention how they are arranged in the ground. This is very important because we're talking about detecting a breast cancer from a reference image. The radiologist accuracy itself is 90% when we're talking about practice, and their performance drops to 60% when we're talking about this. This I'm talking about senior radiologists, and this is a significant drop in the radiologists. So it's important you need to know how they have identified whether whether this image is having cancer or not. So you need to understand it. So the ultimate ground truth for cancer is mostly the biopsy, that is the sample and the analysis. So that puts you the 100% not ground truth. But in case you don't have a ground truth, then what you can do is you can try to employ multiple radiologists. Don't just stick with single radiologists. You can employ 3 to 5 radiologists. Then you can take some kind of majority voting or some kind of average voting, right? In order to classify certain images from just randomly on the labels given to the exercises. And once you are sure about what the data, you understood how the graphing labels are appearing, the next step is understand what could be the potential bias in that mind. Because when we get the data, it might be certain biases that might be associated with it. It could be that all imaging analytics, all images that we get are obtained from single source, high percentage, or it could be that the images that we're collecting are mainly from symptomatic population, right? And the balance is what clinical chart reference, where you have very few positive samples uh, compared to the negative samples. So understand this kind of potential biases that might happen, and then you can use any of the open source data sets as computed on any of the shelf models or traditional machine learning algorithms that are there and evaluate the models. And when you're developing the AI models, one of the aspects is to remember the explainability and interpretability of the implementation. So whatever methodology or whatever classifier you are trying to develop, right, you need to ensure that it is explainable because ultimately they are the people who will be using your technology. If you just say it is just for cancer or for cancer without any justification, without allowing the doctor to understand why the model is so good, then the adaptability of the technology reduces. So make the models more generalizable by reduce by recommendations, and getting more and more data. And understand what type of performance metrics you might study. Because depending on the problem statement, you might have to study different performance metrics. For example, could be accuracy might not be a performance metric that we deal with cancer screening, because if you have underpopulation, you have only one cancer. Even if you just like everyone has, you get 100%. To try to understand what is the common technology or performance metrics used. Cancer screening, typically, we talked about sensitivities, specificities, positive predictive values, negative predictive values, and age. So, try to see what metrics are typically valued for your population. And then the next step is understand where your model works and where your model doesn't. Whatever the model you're building doesn't have to work on all of this. But you need to know where it works and where it doesn't work. This is really crucial because the next step once you develop the model is to get clinical trial and regulatory approvals. This is the step you don't see in non-medical domains. But it's a crucial step if you want to deploy hospitals and computer settings, you have to get this access. So for that, what we define the clearances, we are on technology. So in order to get these clearances, it's important that evaluate your technology studies to increase its predictability and to get success in these prospective studies, you have clear definition of your distribution criteria, right? Where your model works, giving present chances of success. Once you get the clearance, the job is not done because you still need to work with doctors to improve the clinical adaptability. You have to continuously monitor the model to check for any kind of risk drop and then train either through manual training or through the performance of the model. So with this, maybe I will this this is an application, a WhatsApp-based application, which we developed during COVID-19 and which was access manual. So we developed a WhatsApp-based chest experimentation system for detecting whether a person is having COVID or not. So as we have gone over the slide, the first step we asked is what's the clinical why we use chest X-rays for getting the for diagnosing the COVID, right? So at that point of time, artificial is the most common, most preferred screening. But the challenge is when we talk about India, where almost 70% of the population resides, the artificial labs are not there, because of which the artificial test is to take a need to weeks, by which the severity of the disease has progressed. So we need to detect the COVID-19 as early as possible. CT scans are there, but they are very expensive and they talk again about the rural area where there are not CT scans. So how we can do early intervention and reduce the need of this. So that's where we studied what could be the alternate affordable options. So the British Society of Thoracic Imaging, they have approved just radiography as a primary tool for suspected COVID-19. Italian Society of Clinical and Radiology also preferred the X-rays as one of the screening modalities for diagnosing COVID-19. Even the WHO has said the absence of CT scans. So we understood that the next step what we have done was can we get so we wanted to get the independent kind of public services, but we realized that we were the students we might develop that So we started collecting some of the data sets also so that we get the population data aspect. But the data that we get is really limited at that time. So how we solve is that though we don't have the COVID-19 labels, but we have close to 100,000 X-ray images. These are X-ray images, but they don't have diagnosis of COVID. They have different diagnoses, but all of them are X-ray images. So what we have done was to create a multitask framework where it where to have a user extractor, which is common for different tasks that we have, and different heads for addressing the different data sets which we have obtained. So the assumption is that when dealing with multiple tasks at the same time, is that the future extractor that we're getting will be more robust and less prone to overflow. So we have developed this, we have tested it in-house, we have evaluated the external data sets, the results are very good. Then, in order to improve the scalability, what we have done was camps, identify the probabilities of spreading the diseases. We also identify other abnormalities which are there in the emerging modalities and flag them as right. So to summarize, we had it typically. We got high performance, scalability was there, details for all that abnormalities, but we observed that very low adaptability certain users. So this is where the core surveillance, once you use your product, you need to understand whether it is working, people are using it or not. When we analyzed, surprisingly, we saw that the data that the people are loading was random images. And then we even contacted them by the uploaded the random images. They told that they want to test the system. Because when we give it completely free for the doctors, they want to understand whether it genuinely classified or it just random images. So they were trying to do certain random images. But one of the pitfalls for any kind of different don't have safeguards is that red image can be something. So doctors used to upload this kind of graphic, birds, images, and the model is to predict, it has a protein or it doesn't have it. So which basically is the doctor and the and there are certain users who found the results are not as consistent. And when we looked at the images, we found that the images we are uploading are not of good quality. Because this was done during second wave of pandemic, and we had very less time, so we didn't put all the symptoms, and we wanted to help the company. They needed to get this their early stages. So, so we haven't had that same one. So, but when we analyze, people have uploaded images like you can see there's a high print images, and when they capture images, there is a light, the blue light, which gets something which there are stripes, it's a high contrast image, and sometimes it's not even just image, they have uploaded a direct body image. So these are some of the things that are happening, which is low performance and good performance. So this full surveillance has helped us in finding out the immediate thing what we have done was typically classifier. It's a contrast lab approach in CCLR for detecting whether it is an X-ray image or not. So this is the first step. Classify whether it's an X-ray or not. If it is not an X-ray, we send back the
Video
The
pass
next step is to classify whether it's a good X-ray or not. You can
ஆபீஸ்ல தான் இருக்கேன் நீ போனோம்
once we get the proper decision of this, then it goes for the. And even here, we want to be a little bit smart, so the model has very low confidence of predicting the lungs. We want to use human level where we can manually. And then let's say the image is classified as bad. We simply say that the image is bad, doctors don't provide it.
Hello.
So we had an image captioning the network, which
Hello.
basically captions the why
சொல்லுதில்ல.
the model
Ah.
is it because it's starting to be too loud or with a high contrast.
நான் அந்த இதுக்கு டாபிக் ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணிட்டு
So
இருக்கேன்.
once we deploy this, the adoption was very
டாக்
We had seen a load of almost 2,000 doctors using this project.
டிசம்பர் மாசம்.
So to summarize the technology, a rural doctor takes a picture of the suspected patient.
இல்ல இது டெப்லேட் டிஎம்ல பண்றதுனால
Then there is a review by AI, and when the confidence level is also goes to the patient. Then consider the AI service like this generates a report with the explainable report. Then again,
எனக்கு இது போட்டு தரேன்னு சொன்னல.
so with this, I will jump on to a different case study, which talks about a particular example. I think one of the audience have asked about particular imaging. Let's see, like, let's go over an example to understand what could be different thoughts that have happened over the
வேண்டாம்.
So, let's assume the researcher wants to
வேண்டாம் அதுக்கு இதே பரவாயில்ல.
system to classify the process. What the researcher has done is the researcher went and followed the open source data consisted of 100,000 images obtained from 1,000 lung cancer patients.
இது ரொம்ப லேட்டா கிளம்புற மாதிரி இருக்கு.
There is no mention of experience. What the researcher has done was
அதெல்லாம் என்ன பண்ணேன்?
and then with and the was accuracy of our districts. And then they have the problem and create from them. So to make it interactive, can from the audience can be clear that what would be the pitfalls to this type of approach that we have seen. You can either say the job or talk about what would be the pitfalls.
எந்த பிபிடி எந்த பிபிடி அவங்க போர்ட்டலா ஐஎஸ்டிசி போர்ட்டலா எது எது எது
So, if you see, one of the pitfall that the researcher has done is there is a data equivalence. Because what we are saying is that the data is obtained from 1,000 patients and there are 100,000. For each patient, there are 100 information. If you don't split, you're just randomly splitting everybody. Then there is a chance that the variation of training data is there in the validation. So if the model overfits, you get different. Right. The other important aspect is that the researcher can check the message of the. So if I must say label for this radiologist and there is no experience, there is a junior radiologist, this is 60% accuracy. Then, if the model is trained with that kind of ground truth, then deploy accuracy could achieve like 60%. It's not needed because the labels are not proper.
ஏன் அவ்வளோ குளிரா?
The potential biases could be the selection of lung cancer patients because they're trying to identify whether the patient is having tuberculosis or not from only lung cancer. So typically, people with lung cancer might not have
ஏன் வந்திருக்கு?
tuberculosis. So
இன்வாய்ஸ்
we are only
பாத்தியா?
analyzing the high risk population. We then we get
காசு கிடைக்கும்.
So when we apply this model without a constraint, when you're testing it, then you might be getting because the data is completely different from your from one way. So you might be getting and the researcher has mentioned that they got 100% accuracy, but as we discussed, there is only one positive case out of 100 which classify everything as negative 100%. There was no independent test to understand this plot this and then there was no risk-benefit analysis that we done because taking pneumonia from X-ray or student test might be much tuberculosis is much safer than the regular test. With this, I will want to do imaging modality for thermal imaging. So we already went over so many different modalities. So why this? So if you look at the countries like India, we require imaging modalities with the amount of cost so that we can scale it to be portable. And the imaging modalities what we have seen, X-ray images, all these things are sophisticated things, which requires dedicated skills, dedicated expertise, not easily portable. So that's where the comes in. There are very low costs. These are the thermal cameras. They can easily carry in a backpack. So you use field caps or just carry after backpack. We go on the backpack, just put the camera, capture the images, and we be able to tell what the person is having breast cancer or not. It is completely radiation. It just collects the long wave infrared radiation for it's non-contact. So the one which touch the person or the one which see the person. It's non-invasive and one of the really motivating modalities now that you can because X-rays in that because it's not safe, but it's not no one uses it. So we have mobile attached phones and have wearable thermal sensors which you can. So briefly, what is thermal imaging? It's just nothing but measure of surface temperature distribution. Every body emits long-term radiation. We just collect that long-term radiation and measure the temperature. What we see here is an array of temperature values like 10.5 degrees centigrade, which are converted into false magnets. So as we said, every body emits the radiation. What thermal cameras does is it collects antenna long-term radiation energy that's coming in. So it could be three sources. It could be coming from directly from the object. It could be reflected from other sources, and it could be from that. So if you apply the thermal that disperse, you'll be able to identify the temperature. These are some of the standard parameters which are working with because by changing these, you can change the temperature values. So if you want to get accurate temperature values, you might need to set the extreme the human body at set the extreme you need to ensure that there are no temperatures because they might interfere with the given temperatures that were captured. So these are some of the parameters which you are aware of. And once you get this temperature, what we're talking about the temperature values. So there is no direct way of the temperature. So what doctors do is they use pseudophalanx balance, which basically match the temperature value in the term. So if we have a temperature value from 20.9 degrees centigrade to 31.8 degrees centigrade, we can use this rainbow product where 20.9 is to black and 31.2 white, and in between etc. So this is very good palette the doctor wants to see. response, in the kind of focal temperature analysis, is very good valid. In this case, it's very good if the doctor wants to know whether there's a vascular structures that are there. In the test will also say just 55 minus the wastage image, which again helps extract the vascular structure. I don't want to say a typical thermal imaging color palette, which is used mostly for industrial purposes, not specifically for medical imaging. So if we see what the clinical applications that this modality offers, breast cancer is the primary and most known use case of this thermal imaging, which I want to dive into this, so I'm skipping this now. And the second important clinical application is diabetic pulses. So over the last 2 years, we have seen a rise in population getting diabetes, and you see 90 to 34% of the population with diabetes will develop some kind of disease, and 20% of them ultimately have to go for food application, that is food or the mental. The challenge for this application is the challenge for this diabetic process is that currently the way we detect is either through mechanism or delivery, and people have to take care of it, right? So, which requires expertise, lack of awareness. So, that's when we thought, can we develop, can we have a multimodality that normally when it is one single multimodality which can allow you understand what are temperature variations. So, whenever there is a food ulcer, you might see whenever the cells are down, then you can see it goes wrong. Thermal imaging can give a visual representation of what is happening in the future, which allows us to detect this kind of food ulcers or any kind of cells death in the early stages. So I'm just putting a little bit so much data set that are available so that if somebody is interested, once you work with this kind of interesting problems, we can try to download these and work on different problem statements. Sarcastic is another area where its effectiveness. So sarcastic is leading cause of blindness in African South different countries. What happens? It's a parasitic worm, and it is transmitted. Its larvae is transmitted by a blackfly. This predominantly in African South countries. When a blackfly bites, it injects a larva. This larva can grow up to 15 to 45 centimeters per gram. And if you know, and it can even lay eggs up to 100 to 1,000 eggs per day, which can again form into worms, and this entire travels through the body, goes to eye, and then it moves to the eyes. This is it's a very prominent disease in certain African South African countries. And the challenge is that because we talked about the worms or the food, and then the only way of measuring that is instincts. And we realized that even to study these things, there is only one person who can understand this. Doing six the pixel is difficult because we have to take the tissue samples, send it to lab, and all. There is no imaging modality for it. The recent exploration we have done with this foundation, we found that these nodules on these parasitic worms requires resources to grow, especially when they are being produced, right? So it requires more resources, which means more heat, which means the stomach cameras might be able to do it. With that hypothesis, we tested this and we got very interesting results. There's a good chance that fertile worms are not, or that we said, of the world. And the other common application of thermal imaging application is to study the vascular and head and neck cancers. Because when we talk about head and neck radiology surface, so any kind of radiations or abnormalities might be easily traversed to the surface, which we can detect with cover cameras. So that's also one area which is done. And when there are any kind of burns or when there is a fracture, I see inflammation, there's a pain, you can see the inflammation, all of these things can be tracked with the document as well. And during COVID-19, we all see people using the thermal cameras, whether the person is having it or not. And the same fashion, we can identify with thermal camera whether it's in the stress or not. We can identify the situation rate in a non-invasive, non-contact fashion. This would be very useful case, specifically when we're talking about neonatal ICU care. So, if you want to know more about this, we also have some people I will share so you can assess I guess breast cancer is one of the big problem cancers. So even when we see cancer that is one of the leading incidents. And in 2022 alone, 670,000 women lost their lives. Though in countries like the United States, the survival rates are as high as 50%. You see countries like India, the survival rate is maybe 50%. 192,000 women diagnosed breast cancer, and 99,000 lost their lives to this disease. Unfortunately, it is not the case. If you look at breast cancer during early stages, the survival rates are as high as 99%, which is demographic to the cancer. Yet, we expect the cancer is very serious. And when we try to understand what are the challenges that country like India is facing, we understood that the gold standard in X-ray mammography, which basically uses X-rays, finds the potential differences. If there is a cancer, then it gets as 5 region, and when the surrounding tissues are happy, we can easily find the difference. But imagine if the surrounding tissues also comes, then it's very hard to differentiate from the surrounding tissue. And that's a bigger challenge in Asian countries because even after 50 years, approximately 60 to 70% of women tend to have it, unlike Western countries where majority of them are Catholic. So that's one challenge which face. And there are studies, surveys that show that in India, the breast cancer is 1 decade studies. We're talking about US and other countries. The mean incidence rates are around 55 to 65 years, whereas the incidence when we see incidence is around 45 years, which is an age group, right? The 50% of the population are not have very low performance with extraordinary because they tend to have density. So, it's not so good in genetic level. Apart from this limitation of density, where approximately now not applicable for 70% of the rest of the population, equipment cost is another big factor because these machines are very costly. It requires dedicated infrastructure because it uses radiation. You want dedicated rooms, you want it to be sealed with lens with the radiation test good. And you require expertise even to connect the image as well as to interpret. In all such challenges that we talked about scaling it. And it is not easily portable as well because of all this constraint. And the other major challenge is the person has to be struggle with the technician. When we're talking about the operations, sometimes it will be male persons, which is not a comfortable experience for the women. And in order to capture the X-ray mammography image, what happens is you want to talk the X-rays. So for that, you need to make the best tissue plan. In order to make the best tissue plan, we apply tissue 20 gauges of pressure on the best plan and we can pass the X-ray and capture it. So it's a painful experience. So which is a barrier for this treatment. So this is a gold standard as per the rest of countries. And these are the challenges that we see. Ultrasound, MRI are other imaging parameters, but they typically in a generic so ultrasound is very good if you know that there is a cancer in certain, there is a tumor in certain location, and you want to identify whether it's a cancer, right? So ultrasound is very good there. And even in young women where mammography is not applicable, but they have some kind of symptom, they found some lump, and you want to know whether the lump is cancer or not. So there again, ultrasound is helpful. So equipment cost is moderate. This book has less perspective. But if you want to scan in breast ultrasound, it takes close to 25 minutes. You want to take a solar number. Who knows how to interpret the images? Because it's mostly done live. So which limits it, usage outside. And apart from it, because of such information, we can't simply go on and do state ultrasound. Again, limiting the population very serious. And again, backwards for there, MRI is typically used for high risk and because of its cost, it's limited to emergencies. It has the drawback that it's not for other emergencies. Due to all these things, many countries like India and finished examination, which we call as finished examination, is the preliminary test for breast cancer detection. It will detect the cancers by application. So, the multiple studies has clearly outlined that finished examination is very subjective and the sensitivity is only 50%. And that could be a reason why we are detecting the majority of the cancers in the late stages and so that's where we researched and found that can you come up with any kind of variety which addresses the challenges like in the articles. So thermal imaging we found and the advantage we found as the equipment cost, as we discussed, some very low cost. You can carry in a backpack. It doesn't require significant power supply or anything. Normal power supply would work. And you can make fantastic experience for this level. And the only challenge the two challenges we saw was it still requires very, very high expertise compared to other imaging modalities because it is not standardized. So a lot of experience required, a lot of subjectiveness is there, and it is not a recommended standalone product. So coming to the manual interpretation challenges, as we discussed, thermal capture the temperature values, and we use what we call as pseudo color palettes like this to convert this into color images, so that doctors see some kind of radiation in the image. Now, if I use 25 degrees centigrade as my lower limit, that is, if I convert all pixels that are less than 25 degrees centigrade as black and 39 degrees as white, I'm getting this image. Same temperature array, but if I choose 28 degrees centigrade and 36 degrees centigrade, then I'm getting this image. So both represent same temperature array, but in different variations. If the doctor looks at this image, they might call it as, it looks completely normal. But if they look at this image, they might call it as malignant. And in fact, it is a biopsy-proven invasive ductal carcinoma. This is one of the biggest challenges. Why thermal imaging results are very subjective in nature, and it requires a lot of expertise even to analyze what this high temperature is, because this high temperature can be even caused due to benign conditions. So that is one reason why it was not quickly adapted in healthcare. So that's where we wanted to leverage the use of AI and combine with thermal imaging to make it a quantified, real-time, accurate diagnosis. So what happens in cancer, right? Cancer is nothing but uncontrolled cellular growth. So in order to grow, it requires more blood supply, so which pumps more blood to the vicinity of the tumor. So all these things generates more heat. And we have now thermal cameras which can detect the temperature variations up to as low as 0.05 degrees centigrade, which we can't even see with that. And the temperature variations that are caused with cancers, we can even identify even the vascular changes. So once we get these temperature values, we use AI to automatically convert this temperature matrix for a accurate, visually good looking image, which the doctor can easily look and identify the suspicious regions. We generate a real-time quantified parameters, so that the doctor has some kind of quantified parameters to take a decision. So with this, instead of looking for lumps, right, which we're trying to detect with hand in countries like India, we want to propose for looking for cancerous activities. So this illustration, what we're seeing on the left side, tells like how the screening is done. So as you can see, the technician is outside, patient goes inside the cabin. It could be a room, or we can have it curtained as a partition also. So once woman goes inside, they will disrobe, and then there's a thermal camera which captures the temperature variation. So what we're capturing is just temperature values. And the technician can automatically capture these images by sitting outside, either through Wi-Fi or through a USB cable. And we have these markings which allows them to turn to different positions, so that we capture the 360 degrees of the breast. And what we're seeing is a cooler which basically blows cool air, so that we cool the subject for 10 to 15 minutes to remove any kind of extraneous heat. So to summarize the thermometric test, it can detect cancer long before a lump is felt. It's completely non-contact, non-invasive, and privacy aware. Since we are just collecting the long-wave radiation emitting from the body, it's completely safe. There is no radiation. You can take any number of times, because as we discussed, the X-ray imaging has the risk of radiation-induced cancer. So there are guidelines that says that you should not do not more than once in 2 years the mammography scan, right? But when because of which there is an increase in the interval cancers, that is between the consecutive mammography screening scans, the patients are getting cancers. So there also thermal imaging can be helpful because there is no radiation. You can use even every month also to do a personal check. It can work for women of all ages, even for dense tissue as well. It's very affordable and portable. So the journey involves when a patient comes in, the technician provides instruction to the participant. They pull the participant for 10 to 12 minutes because they might be wearing tight dress or they might be coming from hot environment. So there is a lot of heat pattern on the surface. We just want to pull it off. So we pull it for 10 to 12 minutes. And then we capture 5 images. It's uploaded to the Thermetics cloud software, which generates a report, sends to the doctor. Doctor verifies and then modifies or accepts conclusion. Once the report is generated, it goes to the technician who can download and give it to the patient. So this is an end-to-end experience. So in order to achieve this, it's not often a single model that will solve all the problems. We have multiple AI modules in order to achieve this. So the first and foremost aspects that what we have is auto imaging quality check, which basically checks whether the images are good quality or not. This is a very crucial step in medical image because garbaging is garbage out. If the images that you get are not of high quality, then the predictions are not reliable. So we have multiple quality checks, which basically tells whether the images are good quality or not. Then we have localization algorithms, which localizes where is the best region in this thermal image because we're capturing from neck to abdomen. So where is the best region and where are the any other structure that we're seeing, like hotspots or the vascularity. And then we have a set of radiomics features, then we classify. So just to briefly explain the different AI modules that are happening. So one is a contrast enhancement that we do because the camera that is generating, right, simply maps the temperature values that it is seeing in the frame into a particular color palette. Because of which, the image that the camera captures a lot depends on the background as well. Imagine there is a switchboard, right, which is very hot. That might change this picture entirely. So what we have done was we had developed this contrast enhancing, which looks at the variation within the breast tissue and within the entire body, and then tries to find these temperature limits so that the doctor can see the abnormal thermal patterns without compromising on the accuracy. Then we have multiple quality checks. One of the common mistakes that the technicians do while capturing the images is labeling the images. So the image what you are seeing is a right oblique image because as you can see, so here you are seeing the right breast predominantly, so we call it the right oblique image. So the right breast of the patient is on the left-hand side of the technician. So whenever they name the images, sometimes they name it as left oblique or right oblique, they interchange that. So what happens because of that is instead of saying the cancer is in the left breast, the algorithm might say the cancer is on the right breast. So which completely misleads the next steps and also delays the treatment for the participant. So we have a good classifier, which is now a mobile net inspired architecture, which is trained on I think around 200,000 plus images to tell whether given a view, what is whether it is belong to a frontal or left oblique or right oblique. The other two errors which we check for is whether the images are of good focus or not. Because if the camera lens are not focused properly, the temperatures gets averaged out. And again, if the input quality is bad, the predictions are not reliable. Cooling check is one because we want to alleviate the patterns coming from tight dress, the hot environment. So if we don't cool sufficiently, we might be getting a lot of false positives as well. So we have a cooling check which tells when is the right time to capture the images. So the next step we do is the segmentation of breast region. So here again, we went with an encoded decoded architecture, which basically given a thermal image, it identifies where the breast region is. So the one challenge here was the ground truth. You know, there is no direct way of saying that this is the exact boundary, because you can even go till here and then crop it as well. So there is no hard and fast rule that this is the only boundary that is possible. There are different variations of this that can be possible. And in fact, when we try to do this variation, we got between two radiologists, we asked them to segment the breast region, and then we measured the dice correlation, and we found that it's only 91%, which means even between the radiology, the agreement is 91%. So even if you train the model with this kind of ground truth that we have, maybe at most we can achieve up to 91%. So 91, 92%. Yeah. So again, to induce this variation, we come up with a loss function which can handle this variation. So that has interestingly gave very good acceptance of 91 to 91, 92% for predicting the best segmentation, which tells that the model is very good in estimating or as close as to human expert in predicting the segmentation. Now, the next step is to classify whether it is malignant or not. So, you might ask, why not do deep learning, or why not, why don't we have to go for radiometric-based classification? We took the option of, though we are trying with the deep learning, we still went ahead with radio for classification, because it is not sufficient to say yes or no. And since we're talking about a modality which is not standard, we want the doctors to understand why the model is saying, it is cancer or not. So we want it to be as interpretable and explainable for the doctor so that they can understand the diagnosis and then will be able to use this technology well. So what are radiomics? Radiomics basically characterized. These are the, you can call it as a feature values, which have some meaning into it. So with this kind of classification, what we have done was, we try to generate the reports in much more explainable fashion. The first and foremost thing is we generate the annotated images. So whenever we identify the image, any kind of abnormality, we mark it with the blue color pixel, so the doctor knows that there is something here. We mark the vascularity, and then we try to replicate how doctors classify a particular image. When doctor looks at a thermal image, we know that the doctors look at three characteristics. One, they look at, are there any focal patterns that are there? And if so, whether it is abnormal or not. So we call it as a hotspot score, and we create that as a hotspot score so that it knows, the doctor knows that now whether it is a focal abnormality or not. The next parameter they look at is vascularity. If there is abnormal vascularity there, so we have a vascular score that characterizes the vascularity. Then third parameter they look is the heat patterns around areolar region. So we had again areolar scores. And how these scores are derived is through radiomics features, which are again discussed in detail in the report. So the doctor clearly understands why the model is saying. So with this, once the model is developed, just to complete the end-to-end pipeline, we went with the clinical studies. We published multiple studies that explains the validation of our technology compared to standard of care. We screened close to now 300,000 women in India and 22 other countries. The results show that the technology is as good as or even better in certain population cohorts than the standard imaging modality mammography. So this is one such study where we have screened 769 participants, Unfortunately, Pune for only went for mammography because the remaining population had veins tissue or they had already pain and doctor didn't want to subject for more pain. So they went for ultrasound, MRI or biopsy. And when we compared in this cohorts, you can see that the screening sensitivity of diagnostics was as close to 100% with a false positive rate of 7%, whereas the screening sensitivity of mammography was 66.7. And this we're only comparing with the 2000 population, whereas diagnostics is done for the entire population. So the technology is regularly approved and uh, obtained different quality certifications. These are some of the peer-reviewed publications on the use of analytics. Yes, that's it. Happy to take any questions that you might have.
So kindly, can you tell me about the certifications, sir?
So you're talking about the regulatory approvals, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, so what happens is once you develop the technology, you need to validate and then you need to get approvals from regulatory. When we say regulatory, depending on the country you are in, the regulatory constraints changes. If you are in India and you're developing a medical technology, you need to get an approval from CDSCO. So here you have to submit the technology, you have to classify your device, you have to mention the integrity. Yeah, and depending on the country, this regulation changes. For Europe it is CE, and for Philippines it's Philippines FDA, and for US it is US FDA. Does it answer your question?
Thank you, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I think.
Miss, I have the question regarding the CE marking. Like, Miss European Union is changed the rules of the EUMDR from the last month regarding the language requirements. So your tool, like, it means compatible with that language requirement of the EUMDR, or is it like it's only for the English speaking?
No, so actually we haven't transitioned to MDR. We are still in MDD. Because the timeline for transition of MDR is still 2028, I think. So we can use any.
And the second question is like, is it compatible with EU AI Act or is not?
Is it compatible with?
EU AI Act. There are two acts right now in Europe.
Yeah.
One is the MDR, and second is the Artificial Intelligence Act, which is coming picture from this year, from the 2025. So, like, is it compatible with that, like that standard, or is it still you have to get that? Because it's a device actually, as per their rules.
Right. So we follow the guidelines, but we don't have a certain. I think that's not completely enforced to take it, but we're following all the required guidelines for it.
Means I just because in the Europe right now, all the means tools which or the companies who are working in medtech industry, they have to fulfill this all the requirements. That's why I'm asking, like, what kind of CE certificate it is like, because there are various regulations.
The act what you're mentioning, it's not like they implemented from day one. There is a transition. So currently, currently what we have is the MDD approval of EU, and then we are transitioning to CE MDD, MDR in the next year.
So that's why I'm asking, like, MDR for that, like which country, because each country has their own language required. When you talk about Germany, Germany is required for the submit everything in German language.
No,
and
that's what
then
I'm saying. We haven't been there, right? We are applying next year for it. So
Okay.
currently it's MDD. Yeah. So
yeah, so you are not in the European market yet, like you are not
we
in
are
the
in
European.
no, no, no. We are in the Europe market. What I'm saying is, I'm not sure about the existing regulatory guidelines. Okay, completely. Maybe the regulatory person from Vietnam can answer that question. But as far as I know, the MDD, there are no restrictions. We are in currently around 10 countries in Europe, Sweden, Bulgaria, Denmark, UK, all these countries. And it is commercially available as well.
Yeah, okay. And I have other questions. Like you are trying to replace the mammography, like that means you have to do the study and means try to remove the golden standard or just give the alternative of that.
No, I don't think our goal was never to replace the mammography. As we, as I briefly highlighted, right, countries like India, we don't have mammography. And if you see entire population over the world, less than 2% go for annual screening. Right?
Yeah,
And you see many of these countries, right, what we're talking about, they don't have access to mammography. So the target is to provide access first. And then the other aspect what we're trying to solve, even in the developing countries, is that in the developing world, in the developed world, the challenge is mammography was not able to determine. Mammography performance is low in dense tissue. So there, even as per the FDA guidelines, they clearly ask anyone who is interpreted mammography images, they have to report the density. So if it is, ACR category C or ACR category D, they typically ask for another modality, and that's where we are thinking that we can help in diagnosing the dense tissue there. So basically, our main aim is to fill the gaps that are there, not to replace any of the standards at this point. And yes, if everything goes, because we are very early when we compare with mammography. Mammography has been there for the last 40, 50 years, and then it has been studied on millions of women. So, in order to say that we're replacing it, we need to do such a large scale studies. But at this point, we are talking about filling the gaps that are there, which is getting these gaps.
And you generate your own data set, am I right? Or means
Yes, we are collecting our own data sets because the data sets are not available.
So means how then means is a data point of view of Christian. Like in India, we have the different temperature and different states. Like in Europe or other parts of the world, where the temperature is very low in the most of the time in the world. So how this kind of technology can be adaptable in that kind of. So you have to collect data from this part of the world where there are strict regulations on the data collections.
Very good question. So that's where, when we developed the radiomics-based classification, we had considered this very critically because we know that we don't have to even go for country to country. Even when we talk about India itself as a geography, right? We have temperature effects when we talk about northeast and even southern states as well, right? So there's not only the temperature difference, there's the population difference as well. So when we designed these radiomic classifiers, all were developed in terms of some kind of relativeness. So we don't typically look at whether it's 32 degrees centigrade or 34 degrees centigrade. We look at some kind of relativeness, right? How high the temperature is when compared to the surrounding condition. And even when we look at the standard guidelines of the medical thermography interpretation, doctors also look at if the temperature region is 1.2 degrees centigrade or 1.8 degrees centigrade, it is more suspicious. They look at the boundaries, how the boundary is. Is it jagged or is it regular? So it's not just the temperature. Yeah, it is a mix of relative temperatures, shape-based parameters, vascular structures, which brings the whole algorithm to the more accurate. And to further address this, we even tested the algorithms on Turkey population. We tested in Zambia. We have clinical studies that shows that it is performing as good as or close to the standard of care, which is now.
Yeah. And the last question, like, is it a class 3 device or the class 2B device?
It's a class 2.
Okay.
Other questions from the participants? So I think there is no question. So let me finish. Thank you very much, Dr. Siva Tejas sir, for delivering such an insightful and inspiring session. Your expertise in AI-driven technology has given a deeper understanding of how innovation can truly transform healthcare and make diagnostics more accurate, accessible, and patient-friendly. Your talk has not only increased our perspective on the role of AI in healthcare, but has also motivated us to think about how these technologies can be applied for the betterment of society. On behalf of every present here, I extend our heartfelt gratitude for taking the time to share your knowledge and experience with us. We truly appreciate your valuable contribution and look forward to more such enriched interactions in the future. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
So all the participants, please fill the both Google Form links for attendance, and you can view. You can view now.